that provides quality education to all. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe and also like, comment and share. So now let's come back to our session. Do you remember what we had done in our last class? Yes, I had started with our second chapter in your EVS textbook. What was that? Honey, sweet honey. But before proceeding further, let's recap what we have learned in the last session. Sorry. What did we learn? You remember? How does ants find food? I hope you remember that. The receptors in their antenna, right? Yes, good. Why do some animals stay together? Yes, bonding ability. How do animals show their love? We had seen a dog licking the person whom he loves. Yes, licking. Then, why do animals live together and where do they live together? In jungles. Exactly. Why do animals fight for food? To show their dominance and they're hungry, of course. Why do birds fly together? You remember that? Yes, to save themselves from the predator. Animals showing care and affection to their young ones. You all very well know that. Exactly. The parents take care of the younger ones. So the same thing with the animals. All right. So what are we going to learn today? Today we are going to listen a story from Mr. B. Mr. B is saying hello to all of you. Mr. B, what are you going to talk to us today? Mr. B wants to tell his story, how hard work they do for making honey, right? Oh, what do I see on the tree? Mr. B, is that your family? Mr. B said, yes, he has a very large family. Thousands of bees staying together. But, Mr. B, do you have hives only on the trees? Is it? Have you seen hives under the building roofs, hanging big hives, conical structure? Yes. Bees produce a sticky substance material called wax, with which they build the hive. They build it on the branches and in the hollows of trees, terrace of the big buildings and etc. Some build even in the small gaps of the stones. That's very creative. Now, they have a very large family. Thousands of bees staying together. Can you see the structure over here? There's so much of bees. All right, I zoomed in for you. Can you see so many bees living together? Can't we all stay this way? No, that's not possible. But the bees can. Okay. Let's see. There are thousands of bees in a family. Thousands of bees. Can you imagine that? There is only one queen bee and the rest all are workers. The worker bee does all the work like collecting the nectar, building the hive, looking after the queen bee. How is that possible? Only one queen bee and so many workers? That's wonderful. Let's go ahead. Now, does the queen bee do in the hive? She being only single, does she work or does she take rest? There is some specific job to be done, right? So, the queen bee plays a vital role in the hive because she is the only female with fully developed ovaries where she can give lot many babies. The queen's two primary purposes are to produce chemical scents that keeps all the bee workers together and lay lots and lots of eggs that helps to grow their family. So the queen bee helps to grow the family. That's really, we didn't know that, right? But now you know. What do the bees eat? Have you ever thought? They also have to survive, right? What do they eat? Anyone? Can you put your answers in the comment box? Very good. Let's see. Honeybees eat pollen and honey. As the name says, they prepare honey for their own self, not for us actually. We take it from them. Yep. How is honey useful to us? Why should we ever have honey? Why should we take it from them? Here are various listings. Mr. B, you do a very miraculous work. So I have listed out. So what is honey? Is it sweet or is it bitter? It is sweet, isn't it? So it is a better substitute for sugar. The sugar that we gain from sugar cane is no help to us. But if you replace the sugar with the honey, it will give you the sweetness and it is good for your health. The second one is nourishes our skin. If you apply honey to your face or your body, please do not try that. If your parents doesn't know, don't try it on. It's a very sticky material. You must have seen your mother or sister, elder sister doing that. It gives a glow on your face. You apply it and you leave it for some time and then you wash it. You will have a nice, clear, fresh complexion. So that's what honey does. But do not do it. Heals wounds. Honey is also a medicinal thing. So if you got a cut and you apply a little bit of honey on the wound, it heals smoothly. It won't burn. So next time when you fall down and get hurt, do not worry. If you have honey at your place, gives us energy and nutrients. Wow. If you have honey water, every morning if you have 1 spoon of honey mixed in water and drink it, it will give you a lot of energy and it also provides nutrients to our body. Oh, I see a happy face, isn't it? And he's strong. He's saying that honey makes us strong and healthy. So yes, you can start having honey every day, but you need to consult a doctor, okay? And only if your parents suggest you to do that. Do not have it by yourself. Are all honey pure? Whatever we get in the bottle that our mummy, we buy it from the market, from the store, is it pure or not? How do we know that? We feel it is pure, right? They put a slogan that it is right from the hive or something, but we have a simple experiment where you can test your honey is pure or not. So have a small animation where I can play. In a glass tumbler, you add a little water and 1 spoon of honey. If it settles down, that means your honey is pure and you can have it without any concern. But if you add the honey in that water And if it mixes with the water, that means the honey has some sugar in it and it is impure. So this is a simple experiment that you can do at your own kitchen to find the honey is pure or not. Okay children, you can try this out. So let me read it once again to you. Take a glass tumbler, put some water in it, a little 3/4 glass of water. Add 2 or 3 drops of honey into the water. If it mixes with the water before it settles down, it is not a pure honey. But if it settles down and mixes with water very, very slowly, that means the honey is pure. Oh, what is this? I see some wooden box. What are these wooden boxes? Can anyone tell me? Yeah, I see drawers. Is it for something chest to keep our clothes in? What do you think it can be? And I also see it is placed outside the house in a garden. What is that? It is for the people who appreciate the importance of bees in the natural environment, seeks to keep bee of their own. So it is like keeping your own pets, and they rear the bees for giving them honey. Rearing of bees to give honey. It means bee farming as we grow crops. Alright, so this is another industry that is coming up. You culture the bees to get honey from there. So it is in a pure form. So bee boxes or hives today are designed to encourage the health of the bee society, as well as it makes easy for the beekeepers to remove the honey from the hive with the least disruption possible. So if you have seen the hives on a certain balcony or the roofs, your building people or some people, they break it. How do they do that? They have to be utmost careful. They harm the bees. So in this way, in bee culturing, if you do bee farming, the bees are not harmed. They are left alone and you get honey as well. So this process of bee farming is called apiculture. This is the term called for bee farming. So bee farming is known as apiculture, where these wooden boxes are designed in certain ways. I hope it is clear to you children. Okay. Do you know how does the bee make the honey? What is the process that they have to go through to give us that honey that we buy from the market, to give benefit to us? We have the honey, right? It is very healthy, it is very energy consuming product, and we have it for medicinal purposes. But behind that, have you ever thought of it? What hardship the each and individual bee has to do it? Okay, let's see. It starts from here. Let me try to enlarge it. Okay. All right, I could manage enlarging it. The first one, the bees make the hive. Okay, you remember how do they make the hive? With what substance? Right, wax. After this, the worker bees, there are 2 types of bees. I said, right? The queen stays in their hives, guards it. And the worker bees, they go outside, okay, and collect the, what do they collect? And from where do they collect? Yes, from the flower garden. They sit on the flower. Have you ever seen a bee on the flower? Yes. And what do they collect from the flower? A juicy, watery substance. That is known as nectar. Yes. Have you ever tested nectar? I have. So here you can see the bees have reached the flower garden, they choose it and they collect nectar. Oh, I see this, a bee sitting on the flower and collecting nectar. They have a tube-like thing from the stomach and they collect it, they sip it off. How do we do it? With a straw, right? We drink juice through a straw, right? So that's how they do it. Now the next process is the honeybees, they fill in their stomach all the nectars and they come back to their hives. There you have certain other group of bees, they take it from them and they keep it in their intestine. Now, these bees, they have wings, right? They flutter and flutter like a fan. And all it is the juicy, the nectar is very watery. So it has to dry and it has to get condensed. It has to become a thick juice. For that, they flutter their wings and they air it to dehydrate the water, to evaporate the water. Yes, I see the evaporation of water. If you can see the blue line going up, the water gets evaporated. You must have learned, right? Water evaporates, it goes up. Yes. And then, after the water is evaporated, what you get is honey. Yes, ready to serve and eat. What do? Do we take it right from there? No. They use as it for their food. The honeybees, the food of the honeybees is honey. Okay. Now, do we get only honey from the honeybees? Nope. There are many other products that we get from the bees. You have this picture. Do you know? Can you recognize any few? I think you know this. What is this? What is this? Can you see this? Yes. I have the list. Let's see. The first one is pollen. It is like a seed structure. It is full of proteins, which is also beneficial. The second is honey. As I said, honey is also very nutritional and beneficial for us. Then is the royal jelly. It is again a very beneficial liquid. Propolis and wax and bee venom. It is not very common that we use all these products, but yes, some people do use it. Wax we use for various things, right? What do we use wax for? Anyone? Yes, we use wax for the polish, right? We polish our shoes with wax. That one thing. What do we use for bee venom? Can anyone tell me? Yes, can you put your answers in the comment box? I will wait. Let me wait and see the products. Which can I use? Okay, no one. Bee venom is used as a medicine when the bee stings you. Have you ever got a bee sting? It is very painful. The entire thing swells up. So you apply that bee venom on the sting part, and the poison of the venom, it acts as a healing thing. It acts as an antiseptic. So that's where bee venom is used. Got it? All right. Let's see what we learned today. So Mr. B, it was a very useful information that you have given us. But what did we learn today? Do you remember, children? Yeah. Beehives are built on trees, stored stones, building roofs, many other places. What is the shape of that beehive? Yes, it is conical. Now, what does the queen bee do? You remember? Yes, it lays eggs for many more babies. She produces babies, and also she produces a chemical, right? She produces a scent that keeps all the workers together, isn't it? Because she's the head of the family over there, and she has to take care thousands and thousands of bees and they have to be in that colony itself. Have you seen many hives in a same tree? Yes, but how do the bees know that this is their house and they don't go to another hive? So it is the scent that the queen produces. What do the bees eat? The product of them, what they make. And what they make? It's honey. And the pollen. We saw pollen, right? They eat pollens too, which brings them energy, that gives them energy because that is full of proteins. How is honey useful to us? We have been speaking throughout the class. Honey is useful to us. You should have honey every day. Why is it? Because it gives lot of benefits to us. It gives us energy. It can be a sweet constitute, right? You can replace the sugar with the honey that gives us energy. It is also for medicinal purpose. You apply it on your wound and it gets healed faster and you get a good complexion skin, right? Now, bee farming known as apiculture. The man-made beehive, it is called bee farming. They use it, they do it for their benefits and also not to harm the bees. So that process is called apiculture. All right? So remember this, children. Now, we also saw the process of making honey. So now we know all the hard work that the honey bee has to do to serve us with honey, that we get honey. All right, so whenever you have a spoonful of honey or whenever you buy honey, remember to thank those thousands of honeybees that they have worked so hard. Will you do that? Very good. Now, lastly, the various bee products. Can you name me two of them? Yes? Yeah, I remember two. One is the honey, one is pollen, and I remember one more. Wax. These are the simple one to remember, isn't it? Okay. Here are few facts that I have taken up from your textbook. So let's go through it together. Do you know this? A honeybee collects nectar from 50 to 100 flowers in one round. So first, when a bee leaves his hive and goes in search of the the nectar in the flower garden, it goes to 50 to 100 flowers on one round. And they come back, they again deposit in their hive and again go for the second round. That's very nice, very hardworking, Mr. Bee. The only food that man eats produced by insect is honey. So there are various kind of insects, right? There are cockroaches, there are grasshopper, but do they make any products useful for us? No, but this is the only insect that makes their food and we have their food which is beneficial to us. So you see that? So man eats only one product from insect. Now, As the ants and white ants burrow the ground and allow the air to pass into the soil, the plants grow luxuriantly. You must have seen tiny holes in the soil around the plant or in your garden. What is that? Actually, the ant's house it is, right? But how does it help the plant? You know how the plant grows, right? It requires sunlight, it requires air, and it requires water. So air in the surrounding passes through that holes and reaches the roots. That's how the plant grows luxuriantly. Now, hives, nests, ant hills, termitaria and spiders' webs, etc. are the wonderful constructions of the animal kingdom. So they are the natural construction workers. They don't need any degree. They don't have to go to schools or colleges. They know what they have been doing, or they know what they have been come for. So they build their web or their houses with utmost perfection. Have you seen a bird's nest? How precisely they design it. It's so intertwined, it's so cozy, right? They pick up each grass, each sticks, and they build their nest. And also a nest that is hung from the tree, if you have ever seen it. It is so beautifully designed, isn't it? So yes, they are very important in the animal kingdom, just like we do, right? Our houses are built by someone and we go stay there. So someone is the builder, a designer. So they have great ideas and their creative mind. Okay, and lastly, the ant which carries leaf on its back to protect itself from the sunlight is called. Have you seen an ant carrying a leaf behind? I have seen in the TV, because if I see ants, it gives a goosebump in my body. Do you feel that too? It's still having it. I'm still having it when I'm thinking about ants. Yeah, it's very funny, right? So it acts as an umbrella. How intelligent they are. We also carry an umbrella when it rains, when we go out in bright day, right? When the sun is shining very bright outside, we carry an umbrella. So do the insects. Umbrella ant, that's called scuba ant. They are the scuba ant. All right, so here we come to the end of honey, sweet honey. Now, what are we going to do in our next class? In the next class, I'm going to go through your chapter 3. Go around the forest. Do you want to visit a forest? Or have you ever visited a forest? It is dangerous to go alone, yes, because of the wild animals. But do you know there are so many plants in the forest which are beneficial to us? And do you know the names of certain trees or plants that grow in your area, in your neighborhood? And some of the trees and plants that grow in the forest? I will be teaching you that in our next session, Go Around the Forest. We will learn what are the various types of plants that grows in the forest, and also some of the fruits that you get in the forest. Okay? Do people live in forest? If yes, what are they called? Please put it in your comment box. So here, thank you for watching me, and like, comment and share, and also subscribe to our channel. You can also visit to our website, that is v-learning.in, to get many videos that you're looking out for your education. So thank